I have the pleasure in this video of introducing you to the latest major release of Tangora software, version 5.1. This release has now been rolled out to all version 5 Tangora solutions. Our focus in this release has been on improving usability, with an eye towards empowering our users. In other words, we've made our software easier for you to use, which means that you have more power over your Tangora solution. In a simplified account, you could say that while version 5.0 marked a leap in functionality, version 5.1 marks a complementary leap in usability. Now, in reality, that's an oversimplification, and indeed there's a steady flow of improvements, both in terms of functionality and usability, in forms of frequent minor releases, to which your solution is also automatically updated. But nonetheless, a renewed focus on usability and user empowerment is the hallmark of the current release. Now, make no mistake, Tangora has always had a focus on producing user-friendly software. In fact, it is nothing less than the bedrock of our product. So in that sense, version 5.1 comes back to our roots, creating an extremely powerful CMS that at the same time is extremely easy to use. In addition to numerous minor features, there are 4 main features that I'll briefly present in this video. The features are as follows, and I'll now touch on each topic. We have improved and open access to our premier point-and-click design tool, Visual Designer. There are really 3 things that should be said about the changes to Visual Designer in version 5.1. First, Visual Designer is now available to all users at all levels of design. That is to say that the top-level design, called the Site design in Tangora, is now accessible to all users. So now, this powerful and easy-to-use design tool can freely be made available to any user at the level of site layouts, page layouts, and now module layouts, which is my second point, that Visual Designer is now also available to you to create a module layout. So now you could use the tool for making a template for a contact form, for example, or indeed a form of any kind with our Forms module, in addition to making layouts for our other modules, such as, for example, the News module or Database module. Third, we've created a wizard that makes the process of creating a module layout a snap. There are 3 steps to a finished layout, which you can always refine afterwards according to your needs. Let me emphasize the implications of the news with Visual Designer. What this really means is that everyone can leverage this incredibly powerful and yet easy-to-use tool to manage the design of their website without having to rely on design experts. Plus, it's easier to use than ever before. The next point is the new Image and File Selector. The Image and File Selector is the interface whereby you select a file or an image in Tangora. In the previous release, there were 6 icons that first appeared when the user hovered over the controller. The choices available were perhaps not readily obvious and bordered on the redundant. In version 5.1 then, you have 2 clearly marked choices for files and 3 choices for images. For images, there's an edit option, which brings you to Tangora's powerful and easy-to-use image editor. And common to both files and images, you have the select and upload options. Select allows you to select an image that has already been uploaded to your solution's archives, and upload allows you to search your hard drive or network drive for an image that you want to upload. Finally, there's a new search functionality for images, whereby you can type in a few letters included in an image you want to use and get suggestions automatically. This is nothing less than a huge time saver that is a great complement to Tangora's already fantastic image management system. The Blog and Feedback module is a brand new module with 2 main functions. First, you could create blogs with everything you would expect from a fully functioning blog. Secondly, you could create feedback forms, which could be applied to just about every element in your solution. So this could be in conjunction with a blog, where you have a form for comments, but it could also be used separately to allow users to give feedback relating to a page, or a news item, or an item in a database list, such as the recipe, as the case I have up on screen. As you can see here too, there's support for allowing feedback in the form of text, or ratings using a star system or a thumbs up, thumbs down system, or any graphic appropriate to your needs. The ability to create blogs and feedback functionality has been achievable using advanced techniques. The difference here is that it's now dramatically easier to create blogs and feedback forms. The Blog and Feedback module is available in Tangora Web CMS as a new add-on module. A limited version will be made available in Tangora Mini at a later date. Focus Features gives you the ability to differentiate the way you present news or database items. You could thereby draw attention to selected focus features in your overview of news or database items, and you have easy control over the setup, including how focus features are defined and how the layout should look. Actually, it should be no secret that you could achieve the same results in previous releases of Tangora. But the difference in the current release is that there is a point-and-click interface for making this setup, whereas beforehand the process required working at a more advanced level. In other words, what was an advanced setup has now become accessible to a beginner or intermediate Tangora user. Focus features are available in Tangora Web CMS in conjunction with the news or database modules, though they are not available in Tangora Mini. So now I've presented the new features in Tangora 5.1 and contextualized them for you in terms of our renewed focus and commitment to creating a CMS that is not only extremely powerful, but one that is extremely easy to use, which puts the power squarely in the hands of the user. So I hope this will inspire you to explore the range of possibilities you have in your Tangora solution. So take a look and have fun. Thank you for watching.